Before we get started with the video today, guys, I want to let you viewers out there know that only a small fraction of you guys currently watching are actually subscribed to my channel, so make sure to smash that subscribe button for instant updates about videos that I release and other announcements, and also smash that like button to help my channel out. Enjoy the video. Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool here, back with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today I'm going to be talking about a topic that a lot of newer players actually ask me about all the time, and it's going to be regarding the Sanctuary in where you should be using all of your Breath of Orbises. Now, if you guys don't know what your Breath of Orbises are, you can actually get these by doing adventure stages that have a Chaos Gate in it, and that will be shown on the map of adventure by having this Breath of Orbis symbol. It'll look exactly like the currency, like this prism looking thing next to the stage. You just have to clear it and make sure you go into the Chaos Gate and you kill the boss there as well, and you get these Breath of Orbises. Now, these are very important to farm. With the stages, you can also buy them from some AP shops in Adventure, in like Episode 2, Episode 3. You really want to make sure you can get all of them if you can, because in the Sanctuary, there's so many things that you need upgraded that will benefit you a lot. Now, these Breath of Orbises are going to be used to basically improve buildings, and each of these buildings, there's going to be 3 in every single section, will give you specific effects. So you'll see that for the Heart of Orbis, right, which is the center one, which is the gold generating and skystone generating area of the Sanctuary, you'll see that there's the Cradle of Life, the Mirror of Life, and the Benedictory Sanctum. So obviously the first one is going to increase how much you can have stored at a time, because it literally just says it below. You can also click preview and see what the levels will do. And if you guys misuse your Breath of Orbises, you can always reset it for gold cost, although it is pretty high. So if you mess up, it's fine. Just make sure you try to get as many as you can and try to upgrade them as soon as you can. So Mirror of Light is going to be just how fast it generates, and then Benedictory Sanctum is going to be the chance at double rewards. So if you don't have this built, it's only a 5% chance, but at max, it's 50%. So half the time, you're going to get double the rewards. So that's basically going to be, you know, just a huge increase to your Skystone and gold income. So yeah, Heart of Orbis, I would definitely recommend maxing first no matter what, just because Skystones are going to be extremely important throughout the entire time you play Epic 7. But most importantly for newer players, it is going to be your source of Covenant bookmarks through Secret Shop refreshing, and if you run out of gold, even through buying through the shop normally, because yeah, you need Skystones to buy bookmarks to actually use to summon for heroes, which you'll need a lot of as an early game player because you're missing a ton of heroes, right? Because you just started. So yeah, Heart of Orbis should be the #1 priority in my opinion. And then after that, for newer players and mid-game players, make sure you do your High Command. Now you'll see High Command. I actually only have 1 point into this. The floating station comes as a default. The only thing you need, guys, is going to be this 1 point in the barracks. Now, the reason why I recommend this is because if you do that 1 point, you get access to these war missions, and you can just run the 5 conquest and the 10 conquest one, and this will be a really good source of conquest points. Now, this is really nice for early game players and late game players alike, because conquest points are going to be used for a lot of things. So first, they can be used for Mologora, which you need to buy out every week. Second, you get energy, which you can buy every day, which you should be buying every day. And also, for early game, mid game players, you can buy arena gear or conquest point gear from the shop, and it's really, really good for early and mid game players. And later on, once you don't need the gear anymore, you can transition into buying charms, which you'll need a lot of late game to actually upgrade all your gear. So conquest points are very, very important, and you actually are limited in how much you can get a day because you need to use your flags in arena to get them. So by doing this and unlocking war missions and making sure you run these, you're going to be getting another source of conquest points. The hunt missions give you ancient coins, which are not as important because honestly, ancient coins are okay for accessory charms, but conquest points are just worth way more. And then stigma is pretty useless currency in this game, to be honest. And then you don't need extra EXP and gold because that's always farmable through basically anything in the game. So yeah, make sure you get that 1 point in barracks right after you max your Heart of Orbis, and then you're good to go for, you know, the first few Breath of Orbis that you get. And then after that, that's where you want to start thinking about you know, getting into hunts, and that's when you're gonna start actually crafting gear, right? So there's 3 left, right? Forest of Souls, Alchemist, Steeple, and Steel Workshop. So Forest of Souls, honestly, you'll see I have 330. You actually don't really need any of these in the beginning of the game. I think these are actually a bonus. So Forest of Souls, you can actually ignore for now. A lot of people recommend unlocking these 3 as fast as you can, but honestly, you get so much stigma in the game. If you actually need like Phantasma or Penguins or whatever, you can just use your stigma and just instantly promote them, right? Obviously, it does make it more efficient, but Penguins and Dogs should not be a problem for you guys early game because you get so many for free and EXP is always easily farmable. So if I don't recommend Force of Souls, which ones do I recommend? Well, I'm going to recommend maxing out Steel Workshop ASAP. Now, this is very important as well. Before you start crafting gear, you want to make sure this is all maxed out. You have 8 of your Breath of Orbises, or 9, I guess, used here. And the reason is because you're reducing the gold cost and the reforge cost, which is actually huge. The gold cost is super expensive, especially if you start crafting a lot. You definitely want to do Artisan's Furnace first, though, because it increases the chance of items being heroic, which is purple, or epic, which is red, which is very, very important because you'll just get better gear, because rare gear is not that great, especially once you get past Wyvern 11. You start throwing away all your rare gear, which is your blue gear, so you really want to upgrade the Artisan's Furnace. And the Blacksmith's Dormitory, which is the one on the right, is also extremely important because it reduces the resources required for crafting, which basically makes it so it costs less energy to get gear overall, which is extremely important. So you really want to max this out ASAP. If you're farming Wyvern 11 and you're getting those, blue, crafting mats, right, the claws, I really wouldn't even use them until you start going through adventure and max this out, and then I'll start crafting, because you're just being less efficient by crafting before you have this maxed. So I really, really recommend, you do all your Breath of Orbises and make sure you upgrade this ASAP after your Heart of Orbis, which you want to do first because you really need that extra Sky Stones and gold while you're working up to Wyvern. And also, you really want to make sure you have that 1 point into the barracks here, because that will get you your conquest points to help you get more gear to help you deal with the Wyvern gear grinds, right? So yeah, after that, Steel Workshop, and then after that, that's when you want to start working on the Alchemist Steeple. This one's also very important. You actually want to max this out. I don't know why I don't have this maxed out. I think I have one more Breath of Orbis in an AP shop that I didn't buy, but I should do that. It is less gold, but this is very important because it unlocks a lot of things. So let me go over what it is. So the first one's obviously just less gold, which is always nice, but the other two are the most important. So the laboratory will actually allow you to access all of these. So in the beginning, I don't think you can actually access most of these. I think you can only access like charms maybe, but you want to unlock all of it because you're going to be using this all mid game and late game. Like modification, gem conversions, very important for late game for changing stats on gear. Why is it taking me back to the screen? Exclusive equipment is very nice because it guarantees you get the max stat on one of these random skill enhancing equipments. Catalysts are okay. They're not super efficient, but they are nice if you really need the catalyst ASAP. And then equipment conversion is the most important thing in this Alchemist Steeple, because this is where you're going to be making most of your right side gear. Because if you guys didn't know already, necklaces, rings, and boots have a random main stat, so it's a lot harder to craft regularly. But if you craft it here, you can actually choose the main stat like this, and then you could choose like the set. If I want destruction set, you'll see it's 100% chance to be destruction set and crit chance main stat, so less RNG. So it's a really, really nice way to craft right side gear. So you really want to make sure you upgrade your ingredient storage, because this will make it so you actually require less like cores, less gear, right, overall to craft stuff, and laboratory to unlock everything, and then everything after goes into gold. So that's like the priority you want to do for Sanctuary, guys. Heart of Orbis first for sure, because while you're working up to that Wyvern grind, while you're working up to getting to Hunt 11 or Hunt 13 to start crafting, you can actually start stockpiling a lot of golden sky stones, which you'll need throughout the entirety of the game. And then you want to get that 1 point into barracks, and honestly you can maybe even put 1 point into barracks before maxing out Heart of Orbis, because getting your conquest points up early is very important, because you actually need conquest points for the gear and the Molagora. And grinding in arena is a little bit hard early game, so very good source of conquest points from that. And then you really want to get into your Steel Workshop. Make sure you max this out before you start crafting your gear from farming Wyvern, and then eventually get into Alchemist Steeple. And then Force of Souls is just kind of like optional. You just put in what you want, where you want, right? Some people like to actually take advantage of the time blessing. I just don't really care too much about the Force of Souls. The only reason I use this actually is for like the daily Three Sisters Diary quest. But some people really like utilizing it so you can make it grow faster. I think Nurturing 3 is like okay as well. Honestly, the best one here is probably the Probability Blessing, because when you actually start spending your stigma on penguins, you can actually get epic penguins, which you can sell for silver transmit stones. Phantasmas, right, are only going to be mega phantasmas. So honestly, the penguin, the Probability Blessing one's the best to get, and then the other two are pretty much up to you and what you want. You're not going to be able to max everything in the Sanctuary, guys. Smilegate has it set up so you have to choose. But this is my personal priority. I'm gonna say it once more again in case you guys didn't know, although I am repeating myself a lot, but just in case you guys forgot or didn't understand completely. Max out Heart of Orbis, right? First and foremost, you want to put 1 point into the barracks here and get your war missions going, right? Always run these war missions. Conquest points very important. Steel Workshop for your crafting, very important to max out before you start crafting stuff. And then your Alchemist steeple is going to be a very good investment for your mid and late game progress. And then Forest of Souls is for, you know, as you wish, whatever you want, to be honest, with your leftover blessings. I recommend Probability Blessing max, though, if you do decide to put some points here. And yeah, so make sure you get your Breath of Orbises, guys. Very important to utilize, because it just gives you a lot of free resources. Like, if you don't farm these Breath of Orbises, like over like 2-3 months, you're going to be wasting so many resources. It's going to be so harmful for your account. So if you guys are like a 2-3 month player, even longer, you haven't farmed these Breath of Orbises and you're like lacking some points in Steel Workshop or something, it's never too late, guys. Better to do it as soon as you can than wait even longer. So make sure you get on that ASAP. You can get them from adventure modes where adventure stages that have this Breath of Orbis symbol next to them, or from AP shops as well. So you want to check out the AP shops. I'm sure there's a lot of information online that tells you where you can get all of them. And I think Smilegate actually tells you in some of the beginner guides nowadays. So yeah, get on that ASAP, guys. Sanctuary, very important to take advantage of if you guys aren't already. And as always, if this video helped you out, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.